It's an informational session. We provide information, and hopefully you receive information. As I sent some folks recently an email and asked a question, I want to ask you that question tonight. What is it that we can put on the agenda for these monthly conversations that would cause you, A, to attend, and B, to bring people with you? And if you have suggestions about things we can put on the agenda for these things, please email myself or Tiffany. We'll be glad to consider those topics because we want this to be information for you and beneficial for you. We don't want to waste your time. We want it truly to be beneficial to you. And so thank you for being here tonight, and I'll turn it back over to Tiffany.
Thanks, Rod. We are excited to have a very full agenda tonight. I know the last few months we've had some incredible speakers, and tonight is no different. We're going to start with Erin Andrews. For those of you who do not know her, she owns Marketing Georgia. She is in one of the 3 districts. I'm sorry, I never remember the number. She will tell you, I'm sure. But she is on our public image team. She is the district public image chair in her district. And most importantly, she is donating a lot of her business's time and talents to help us with some CART branded items. We're going to have a whole lot of stuff that we're going to roll out for you guys in the next few months. And she is also volunteering some resources to help with social media and lots of things. And she is going to talk to us about marketing CART in your district, and she has come up with her top 10 things she wants to share tonight, and I'm excited to have Erin join us. Erin, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking me. I love just sharing good news with everybody, and hopefully I'll have some insightful things to share about marketing the CART Fund. And I'm in District 6920. So Felix Smith is my district governor, and my home club is Milledgeville. So I am the public image chair for our club. So sometimes some of this just kind of comes naturally to me, and I put together a top 11 tips, and some of these may be like, well, duh, but then some of them I'm going to elaborate on and see if we can't find some fun ways to put a new spin on the same idea. So my number one tip for promoting CART in your district is to set a goal. So that's the first thing I did this year as president of our club. I set a goal, and I looked for a new way to have members donate to the CART Fund. In the past, it was almost like, give money to the blue buckets, give money to the blue buckets, and I wanted a different way to do it. So I set a goal for my members, and I'm asking everybody for $25 for the year. That will have us exceed our goal from last year, and I actually think we're going to end up doubling our goal. And it's just simple. Some people went ahead and stroked the $25 check. Some people still put money in the bucket each week. And then some people wanted to go online and give their donations that way. So that was my number one, set a goal. And every single week I remind them of what my goal is. I want 100% participation from my club for $25 a person. And so to me, that's very, very reasonable. Let's see. Number 2. The number 2 thing I think would be important in marketing the CART is to get out there, beat the streets, and go to the clubs. Every club would love to have Tiffany there, but Tiffany can't join every single club, which is why she has her committees to help her. And so I say volunteer to speak at the clubs. I'm not sure how many clubs are in each person's district, and I know it's hard to get to all of the clubs, but volunteer. And maybe you could even do some combined clubs. If there's some clubs close together, you can make a presentation to the combined club. But getting out there, telling the story, and give them examples of the research grants that have been obtained through the CART Fund, I think is really important and key. My third tip is to use engaging visuals. So it's cool to get up there and talk, but if you can share with some videos or some reels, infographics, flyers, handouts, always use visuals, because that just adds interest to your conversations or to your presentations. Number 4, collaborate with other Rotary leaders. So talk to the people who are doing a good job with the CART Fund and ask them for endorsements and testimonials, and get photos, get videos of them talking about why they donate to the CART Fund and what it means to them. Let's see. Number 5, find fun ways to get your club to donate. So one thing we did, we were fortunate to have Tiffany come and present to our club, and we did happy dollars for the cart that day. And everybody loves to get up and give $5, $20, whatever it may be, to tell something great. Maybe they're having a grandchild, or maybe their kid graduated from high school, who knows, but there's always positive news to be shared. Or have a card game, give an incentive like the lapel pins, mascot, maybe a mascot might appear for the CART Fund, t-shirts, anything to make it fun. Maybe you have a contest, and the person who has this club with the most creative campaign wins something. Or maybe your club challenges another club. So challenge each other, because competition is fun. Friendly competition. Attend Rotary events. Whenever all possible, attend Rotary events. That's where you're going to find your people who are most engaged. And make sure you have face-to-face conversations with as many people as possible every single day about the CART Fund and why it's important and how it aligns with the Rotary values. Utilize your Rotary publications. Make sure you have your CART Fund information in the newsletter every month. Try to get it in Rotary magazines. If clubs have weekly newsletters, get it in the weekly newsletters, club bulletins, anything you can find this Rotary. Get your information there. Offer partnership opportunities. So I think if you were to reach out to some clubs, and Tiffany, you could tell me if this is okay or not, but possibly even other civic organizations. Like we are doing a service project with the Lions Club. And so we could combine together, and when you help them, then they'll help you. And you have it's just a lot of community involvement, collaboration. Let's see. Educational workshops. I think educational workshops would be key. And what I would propose there is to get one member of every club, ask the president and send one member from every single club to an educational workshop where they learn all about the CART, all about Alzheimer's, all about statistics. And, that way you have someone from every club that's a CART chair, and they're engaged and they really want to help their club excel with their CART donations. Number 10, utilize online platforms. So, there's Facebook pages, TikTok pages, Instagram pages, Twitter X pages. There's so many ways that you can get the information out there. So I'd say look at those pages and see what really fits for your club. In our district, Facebook is kind of the most popular here, but whatever it may be, make sure you're there. And then there's also places like Nextdoor and LinkedIn that people sometimes overlook, but when you're on Nextdoor, you're there with your neighbors, and they may not know about Rotary and they may not know about the CART Fund, but if we share the information there so it's getting out into our community, then we'll probably reach a new audience. And number 11, this was one that I think helped our club: make it easy to give. So have forms on the table, have your QR code, pass out the links to the website, have your blue buckets. Just make it easy so that people, whatever way works for them. To me, it was easier to go online and set up automatic donations. Some people, they like to pull their cash out of their pockets and throw it in the bucket each week. So those are kind of my top 11. And would love to answer any questions that y'all have. I'm sorry if I spoke fast.
Erin, thank you very much. And I'm wondering if, when you mentioned educational workshops, if there are any recommended videos, and Tiffany, perhaps you know this as well, that could be utilized in providing an educational workshop. And when you say that, are you talking like maybe an hour and a half? Is there a recommended time frame for that? Just like to know a little bit more information on that.
Yeah, I'm probably talking a little bit more than an hour, because I don't think you can learn everything you need to learn in an hour. I'm thinking more like 3 to 4 hours, maybe a half day. You feed them breakfast or lunch. If there's any videos out there, I think Tiffany could probably tell us about those resources more than I could. And if there's not, she'll probably tell me to put it on my list.
There are a couple. Obviously, the first one that comes to mind is our annual meeting, which is held the first Monday and Tuesday of every May. So May 6th and 7th of 2024 will be the next one. But that meeting every year is recorded, and those videos are also on our YouTube channel. So you can go back and watch the training sessions that we do on Monday afternoon and the presentations on Tuesday. And this year in 2023, Kevin, these would be great videos after the fact, since if someone missed it this year. There's one on how the grants process works for CART. There's one on who we are and what we do. There are presentations by 2 of the 3 researchers this year. And there's a training session on public image and several other topics like that. So those are always helpful if you were looking for something on video. In person, we would love to have as many people as possible next year to attend the annual meeting. Again, first Monday and Tuesday of May, and we'll be announcing more details about that later. But it is not limited to just the district chairs or just a small group. It's not even honestly limited to Rotarians. So I would love for us to think about who in our communities and might be either a potential sponsor of CART or potential donor or supporter, or someone in our community that we might collaborate with and partner with that Erin mentioned, and invite them to come as your guest. Literally, the only cost to attend is our lunch. We try to keep it very affordable. So you'll be hearing more about that. But that's the first one that comes to mind. There has been some discussion with our scientific review panel about doing something that would include researchers from around the country. I'm not sure how much that will involve the general public at this point, but it's always something that we would record and then share afterwards. But if someone is interested in putting together something like this in their district, we would love to help you, or put it on the agenda for your district assembly, your pre-pets, your district conference. Those are excellent opportunities to provide those type of educational opportunities.
Erin, you mentioned mascots. I'd like to introduce you to CART, Track the CART Elephant. And
Nice.
the reason why we have an elephant is because elephants never forget. And when we go to give a presentation at the Rotary Club, we pass track around from hand to hand to every one of the members. And when they get their hands on this elephant, we discover that the money in the blue buckets almost doubles. So track keeps all the memories that are lost by all the victims of Alzheimer's. He's really inexpensive, and he's a great salesperson for CART.
So, Bill, I couldn't have paid you any more to give us that lead in, because Erin and I have been working on just that, and we have created a miniature plush elephant that comes in a white lab coat, and the little CART logo will be right here on his lab coat. They are 5 inches. They're going to be very affordable, and they're going to be on the website where people can purchase one or they can purchase a dozen. And many of you, like me, have one of the koala bears with the In Polio Now t-shirt. We're going to be doing the exact same thing where if you want to purchase a dozen of these and then sell them to raise money in your district, they will be affordable enough that you can do that as well. So Bill, these are just for you. And I'm so excited that when I found one on Erin's inventory that you could get them with jerseys and all kinds of fun stuff. But this one has a lab coat, and I thought that was adorable. So we are excited. We'll be rolling these out for you guys very soon. And Michael, I'm going to come right back to you. But while I have this topic, I'm going to show you guys. I want to share my screen and show you that this is one of Erin's websites. It's called civicswag.com. And if you look, there is a tab on there specifically for the CART Fund. And so when you click on that tab, you can find all the things that we currently have available for you guys, which are the CART Fund pins. There's some power bank chargers. There's a pop-up banner for both tabletop and full size. And there are different size tablecloths. And this is where the elephants will go and several other things that we're working on. So make sure you visit there, civicswag.com, and thank you to Erin for helping us to make that a reality. So any other questions for Erin? I should mention also that if there are other items, because Bill's been telling me this for a couple of years now, so I've been listening. I just had to figure it out. But if there are other items that you guys think would be helpful to you, if you'll let me know that, or Erin, you can reach out to her directly, or Tim Radford, who is our new Vice President of Public Image. The three of us are working closely together. We will be happy to do some research and see what we can find. Erin and I have been looking at a lot of stuff. She is not going to be carrying attire and apparel because we have the contract with the other group also in Georgia, who opens our apparel store every few months. And that link is on our website. We're going to be adding the Civic Swag link to our website as well. But if there are other things, whether it's mugs or I don't know, whatever it is, if there is a way for us to do it that is affordable for everyone and not something that Erin has to keep 10,000 of in stock because she is a small business owner, but we will be happy to look at those options as well. We talked about that a little bit last month for district chairs. That's a great way to communicate. So I'm glad that Michael is joining us. And that is a reminder to each of you who are district chairs to invite all of your club chairs to join us for this meeting every month. There is nothing secret about this meeting. We would love to have as many people online as possible, and we do record it and share it to our YouTube channel, and then also invite them to our monthly lunch a la carte as well.
Just make sure to make use of your public image chairs, because that will be your key to getting it across as many platforms as possible.
All right. Thank you, Erin, so much for joining us tonight. We have a challenge. I have a challenge for each of you, especially if you are a district chair. Then I want to ask you to this month, the month of November, I think I'm going to start doing a different challenge every month. But this month, your challenge is to go to the donor portal reports and look at the list of all of the clubs in your district and pick one club that is a zero giving club. Now, I'm not sure that Rod has any of those, and my district maybe one. Right now, it's early in the year. You might still have one, but several of you have zero giving clubs every year. And so I want to ask you to pick one of them that you can focus on this month, that you can reach out to them and maybe help us find out why they are a zero giving club. Do they just not know anything about CART? Have they not had a speaker in several years? Do they not have any blue buckets anymore? Did they have a bad experience one time that perhaps has never been resolved? If you would reach out as a district chair to one zero giving club in your district and try to work with them to get them on board, you can ask Rod or myself or any of us on the executive, the folks on the executive committee would be willing to help. And we would be happy to schedule a program if you're not able to do it. But we want to identify one club in each district this month that we can really focus on and turn them into a giving club. And so I'm going to ask each of you to do that. I'll send an email out tomorrow to everyone that was not online as well. And that's what I'm going to ask you as your challenge, to pick 10 non-giving club. All right. Next on our agenda is the district chair from 7750, Cara Hamilton. And Cara is going to talk to us a little bit about what we talked about last month with identifying club chairs in every district, and also about how you utilize those club advocates or club chairs. And Cara has some of the best in her district. So Cara, thank you so much for sharing what your best practices are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. So I will start out by saying Erin and I did not share our information before this, but some of this will be a little overlap, which is good. That means we're like-minded and we're aligned. So that's a good thing. And then the second thing is from Erin, I'm going to steal her other comment about some of these may be seem duh. But I think my goal is if I give you 1 or 2 nuggets from this, it'll be a huge success. So thank you very much. So, identify a club advocate. So first of all, what I want to do is kind of define what a club advocate is. And then the second thing I want to do is give some specific examples of what they may do. Now, it's going to be unique for every single one, but this is from my experience in my district. And then the second thing is I'm going to talk a little bit about leveraging relationships. And then the third thing is, and this is something Erin talked about, but I'll talk about a little bit as well, is the advocate educating themselves about CART and Alzheimer's. So with that, I'll jump right in to what is a CART advocate, really. So it's really someone, and in each club is the goal. I know that's extremely difficult, and start, like Tiffany, start with a club that doesn't have a CART chair or a CART advocate. And I would focus on, because I'm an accountant, I like to do the low-hanging fruit, a larger club. If they don't have a CART chair, you can see the number of members in the club. Pick a club that doesn't have a CART chair or CART advocate and reach out to them and say, you have a fairly large club and you don't have a CART chair. And there's some opportunity here. So find someone, and then when you find a club that may be open to having a CART chair or a CART advocate, make sure that you find someone in that club that has a connection to CART. Either they have a story or a family member, or they know about Alzheimer's personally or from tangentially from somebody else that they know. So that's important. And then I think it's important to use that CART chair to advocate and educate the clubs and the community about CART, because the more people know about CART, Bill made the comment earlier about the difference between giving 100% donations go directly to cutting edge research versus other avenues. That's important for people to know. I think what our CART advocate does is an extension of me as the district CART chair. So I can call my club's CART advocate and say, hey, I'm not able to make it to this meeting. Would you be willing to go to that meeting for me? And I think you can call that a CART advocate. You can call that a CART ambassador. And I think in each district, we should have a couple of those in our pocket, and maybe even ideally by geography, because honestly, I can't make it. I still work full time. It's very difficult. I have some clubs, we have 50 clubs-ish in my district. It's very hard for me to make it 2 hours away, do an hour presentation, hang around a little bit after, and 2 hours back. I mean, that's a day. So, find somebody geographically. And I know this, but it's very strategic. Go through the list and say, okay, what are the clubs I'll use my example, in the Aiken area what are some clubs up near Columbia? What are, well, actually, but anyway, you see what I'm getting at. So do that. So find an ambassador or a CART advocate in your district that can be your backup or can help you lighten the load. And you know what that does? That just spreads more people spreading the good news. So I'll go. Erin also commented on this. I think the CART advocate for the club or CART chair should have a goal. And not only should they have a goal, they should have a plan. So a goal without a plan is a wish. We know that. And so what our club chair did this year is got up at the first meeting and said, okay, this is our goal for the year. And I'll tell you, they said $10,000, which is a big lift for our club. As a matter of fact, that was more than 2x what we contributed last year. And everybody's jaws dropped because everybody is in the same mentality that, coins in a bucket, that type of thing. But what this CART chair did is not only came up with the goal, but came up with the plan on how we're going to do that. We're going to have a member of the club match the bucket every single meeting. So you'll get the donations plus you get a match. We're going to have spotlight sponsors that come. Part of Rotary is networking. So we're going to have a sponsor come to every meeting, and for 3 minutes of a promo about your business, about whatever, you pay $100. We call it Spotlight with a sponsor with a spotlight. So, and people have taken advantage of that. They get up and talk about things going on if they're not-for-profits, things going on in their businesses. We have the AMNED Foundation come and talk about what they're doing, and they gladly pay $100 for 3 to 4 minutes to talk about it. And then the last thing, very specifically in this CART Chairs plan, was we have a signature fundraiser in our club, and they were going to actively participate as one of the fundraisers. And the proceeds from the fundraising, a piece of that goes back to the participants. So all the money that they got, they were going to put into CART, if that makes sense. So that's a lot of things that you can do. I'm going to slow down for a little bit, ask any questions on that. I have a couple other things that I really want to go over, but are you tracking with me? Am I going too fast? Perfect. Okay. So the next thing is some specific examples of what they include. And Erin talked about this. Michael, you mentioned it, but you really need to leverage social media and those platforms. This individual takes pictures of CART events. You know this, Tiffany. You know who I'm talking about. Takes pictures of events they go to, and they always take a picture, and they always have their CART pin on, and they always mention about CART in the comments. And then they tag people that connect to it, like myself and Tiffany. And you know what we do? We share it. So, it's just that great multiplier, the ripple in the pond. So, the more we can tell people about it, I can't tell you how many people have responded. What's CART in social media? Well, you know what we just did? We just educated another person about CART. Coins for Alzheimer's Research Trust, etc. So social media platforms, I'm a big fan of it. Let's see, what else? Leverage relationships. I said I was going to talk about that. So these individuals took CART buckets and put them at a local restaurant. They have a relationship. They go to that restaurant a lot. This is a sole proprietorship. It's a great local place. And they put a sign up that said CART and a blue bucket. And you know what? They go every couple of weeks, and there's money in that, and they empty it out and they put it back there. So it's leveraging relationships. The other thing they do is for the fundraiser, they went to another local business and took a picture of selling the raffle ticket and said that we're selling this raffle ticket to this local business owner, and these funds from this are going to go to CART. So once again, leveraging relationships. And then I think the last thing, and once again, Erin mentioned this, but these advocates need to educate themselves about CART and Alzheimer's, because they need that elevator speech. I can't tell you how many times someone will ask me about CART, And I want to be able to explain it in a minute and a half, what it is, what the most important things are. So I need to be educated about it. So what do you do to do that? You go to the conference, the annual conference, and you remind people about, I can't tell you, Michael, how full of information that CART Fund portal is, the cartfund.org website is. I go there about once a month and just read new articles, see what the new fundraisers are, see what's going on, because there's new information on there all the time. Wear your CART pin. They wear their CART pin all the time. People ask them what it is. I guess the last thing I would say is the other thing that they do is they go to district conferences and training sessions. Now, they're there to attend the training session, or they're there to attend the conference, but you can set up a little table pretty easily, put a tablecloth on it, put a CART bucket and a stand-up sign, and during breaks, get your coffee and go sit at the table and tell people about CART, and then more people in the district know about it. So anyway, that's what our club advocate does. That's what our CART chair does, and it's been very successful.
I will add that she mentioned that the club advocates, she said plural, it's a husband and wife in her club. And she mentioned that they have this relationship with local businesses, and they put the buckets, they actually put the little clear acrylic boxes to you out in the restaurant and in other businesses. And so a year ago, when I needed a meeting with Cara, we picked that restaurant. We went and supported that restaurant because they support CART. And guess what? Tomorrow I'm having a meeting with Carol and Frank, and we're going to Roughage tomorrow to support them because they support CART. And that's what we as Rotarians do. We network, we fellowship, we do business with people who support us. And so that's a great example of that being a really good, strong relationship that couple has. And they've used it to benefit CART. And we're very grateful for all that they do. All right. So as you may recall, every month we also have a fundraising idea of the month as part of this monthly call. And sometimes we have a guest that comes in and tells you about a fundraiser that they've done in their club. And again, if you want to go back and look at all of those, they're on our YouTube channel, so you can find them there. But tonight, I thought it would be a good idea to mention something that is actually very timely and is coming up in just a few weeks. And that is Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday was first started back in 2012, but it became its own organization in 2019, and it is held every year on the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. We have not typically done a tremendous job of promoting it as part of CART, but we did start that last year. And I wanted to share a quick statistic with you that last year in the portal on Giving Tuesday, we brought in $50,000 and $50,722.99 in one day. So I'm issuing a challenge that we try to increase that this year, and we make a conscious effort to promote Giving Tuesday in our districts. Now, I also recognize that our district foundation chairs are probably going to be doing the same, and we do not want to step on toes. We do not want to ask them, to do one instead of the other or anything like that. But there are ways that you, as a district CART chair or a club CART chair, can promote this in your club or in your district. We will be doing it all over our social media, and Michael mentioned social media earlier. I put it in the chat that the CART Fund actually has a Facebook page, a Twitter X account, and a YouTube channel. And of course, we have a monthly newsletter. So I typically send the newsletter out at the end of every month. I'm going to send it a little early this month so that it will go out before Giving Tuesday with a final push and reminder to the 900 plus people that are on our e-news list. But this is an opportunity for you to share the things that you see popping up on our social media. Put it in your club newsletter, write an article for your district newsletter, share to your personal pages, tag your district, tag your club, talk to your friends, use the post, try to get your own friends to donate. A lot of folks use the Giving for Good, the Facebook fundraisers that they do for their birthdays and things like that. And there is nothing wrong with those, but I want to encourage you instead to send people to our website to donate. mycartfund.org for a couple of reasons. Number one, we can capture their contact information and we can then add them to our e-news list. We can continue to communicate with them and possibly get future donations, but also your club and your district will get the credit for it. And that does not happen with the Facebook fundraisers because we get one check that is mailed to Sumter some months later. So it's impossible to do that. So I want you to think about these things when it comes to Giving Tuesday this year, which is November the 28th. I want you to consider a challenge, that you maybe have a challenge gift or a challenge match, that you challenge a club to meet a certain goal or a certain amount. Maybe you offer some awards or prizes for every club that makes a donation on Giving Tuesday or every individual. Try some peer-to-peer campaigns where you encourage your friends to donate to your favorite organization. If they're not already giving to someone on Giving Tuesday, people put this date on their calendar every year and plan to make gifts. And there is no reason why we can't ask them to give to us this year. Put it in your newsletter, do an email blast. If you are a district chair, this is a great opportunity to send a reminder to all of your club chairs. If you're a club chair, this is a great opportunity to send an email to everyone in your club and ask them to donate on that day. Use your social media, and most importantly, really encourage online giving, because this is an opportunity for us to make a huge splash in one day. And then following that, in the month of December, we will be talking about end of year giving, so we can turn around and follow up with these people if they forgot or if they have a little extra money that they want to donate. And we usually talk about that in early December, and that'll be on our agenda next month as well. But now is the time to be thinking about Giving Tuesday. There's a hashtag Giving Tuesday. We will have some posts on our Facebook, Twitter, and our LinkedIn page. I should have mentioned earlier when I said we had those 3 accounts. We also have a LinkedIn page, and with the cloud campaign software that Erin donated for us, we're able to post to all of those at one time. And so we have some scheduled posts that'll be going out about Giving Tuesday. I encourage you to share them from those pages to your own. It's interesting that all 3 of our topics tonight really did tie in well with each other. You may have heard the same comments, the same suggestions more than once, but as Cara said, that really does speak volumes about the fact that we have one goal, and that is to raise money for research. And there are some proven ways that will work if we will try them. And again, some of us are doing those really, really well. Some of us are not doing them yet or enough, or maybe haven't tried something and want to try something new. We are looking for lots more volunteers. If you have people in your district or in your club who say, I just can't make a gift, I'm already giving to this organization or whatever, but I'd love to help out somehow, we could use volunteers as well. So we would be happy to talk to them about some of the volunteer opportunities that we have also. Cara.
So I did have one other thing, if you don't mind me interjecting, I'm sorry, but I just had a thought, and this has nothing to do with club advocacy, but as a district CART chair, I started doing something, and I think it's rather effective, and you guys may already be doing this, but a lot of my clubs mail me their checks instead of going to the portal, which is fine. If they don't want to do that, it's fine. And then periodically I get other CART checks in the mail for whatever reason, doesn't matter. When I enter that in, I get a receipt. I save that receipt as a PDF, and generally I save it as a PDF, but what I've been doing lately is I've been printing it out and putting a little note on it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. So it's not like officially a thank you note, but it is. And then I scan it back into my computer and I attach it to an email and I send it to the treasurer of the club or whatever. And when I send that email, I'll say, dear club treasurer, whoever it is, Tiffany, dear Tiffany, attached is a receipt for your donation. I appreciate your club and your club support of CART. If you ever need anything, let me know, Cara. And the thing that does is twofold. First of all, they know I got their donation, because sometimes when you put it in snail mail, you don't know it. And second of all, I hope they're taking it back to their club and saying, hey, they got our donation and they're thanking us for it. So I know that's a little nit, but it's super easy to do. And I found, and then people usually email me back, You're welcome, Cara. No problem. You know, it's nice.
Absolutely. And we can take that one step further. Not only is it nice to say thank you to these people more than once, but also, and we can't remember who it was. Maybe it wasn't Cara, but someone also has a pre-printed little note that they include in that mail that says, I was happy to, something to the effect of, I was happy to put this into the portal for you. However, in the future, if you would like to enter it yourself and save yourself a stamp, here are the instructions. And one of the things that we have found is that we, as the volunteers who do a lot of this work, we cannot complain about doing that work for someone if we never teach them how to do it and let them know how to go about doing it. So we are all grateful to help them, and we are happy to do it, but they may not even know that maybe they never got that memo that they can go online and make the donation. So absolutely say thank you as many times as you can, and also let them know that you or one of us would be happy to share with them how to go online and do that. And you would be surprised the checks that are still out there. They show up in the most random places from all over the place, and that's fine. We're happy to take care of them, but it is always safer to do it online and to make sure that it gets credited to the correct account. Money never goes missing. It just might not get into the right pot of the right club or the right district. So thank you. Okay, so finally tonight we have a couple of quick announcements as far as dates that I wanted to give you a heads up for so that you would be aware of them. Our next lunch a la carte is next Tuesday, November the 14th at noon. All of our meetings are noon Eastern time for a la cartes, and of course our meetings for this at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. The lunch a la carte Tuesday, November the 14th with Dr. Marius Wernig. And there is also a lunch. There is not a lunch a la carte during the month of December, but after that, they start over in January, and those are scheduled for several months. And those dates are on the DAC-DB, District and Club Database calendar. And if you select multi-district events, and they are on the CART Fund calendar. If you go to cartfund.org and click on calendar, you can see all of our events. If you forget to register for something, but you had it on your calendar and you knew it was tonight, all you have to do is go to that calendar page on our website, and there is a link there that you can click. It'll take you straight into the Zoom. All of those CART Fund meetings, which are lunch a la carte and conversations, this call, all use the same Zoom. Let me mention, though, to make sure everyone is clear, there is a new cause-based Rotary Club that is starting, that Bill Parker has joined, and several other folks. We're up to 7 members in it so far. When we hit 20, they will charter out and become their own club. But they use a different Zoom link because that is a club meeting. That is not a CART Fund sponsored meeting. That is their Rotary Club meeting. That link is also on the calendar and also in the DAC-DB calendar. But I believe that last month some folks used that link and could not get in with us to this call. And those are 2 different meetings. So anything for that club, they have their own Zoom link. It's the same recurring link every time, but ours will be the same for these 2 meetings. So our conversations call in the month of December will be on Tuesday, December the 12th. I know that is getting very close to the holidays, but we are excited because in 2024, we are going to try something new with this call, and we're going to have it on the second Thursday of every month. We have found that Thursdays seem to be the best attended meetings. There are a lot of clubs that meet on Monday nights and Tuesday nights, things like that. So we're going to make an attempt for a few months and see how it goes. In 2024, this call, the CART Conversations call, so you can go ahead and put it on your calendar, the second Tuesday of every month. Go January through June for now. And we're going to give that a try and see how it goes. Second Thursday of every month at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. And again, we'll always record them. We'll always put them on the YouTube channel. And speaking of the YouTube channel, I did finally get the recording from last month edited, and it is on the YouTube channel. I know several of you missed that. And so the call with DAC-DB last month, trying to teach us how to create a committee and send a email and all of that, is now on the YouTube channel, and it's on the playlist called CART Conversations. I want to say a welcome to Frank Cox. He is our newest division director, and we are excited to have him on board. And we are thrilled that he's going to be a part of our team. And I know that several of you will be chatting with him. So again, you guys have the schedule for moving forward, and we are always glad to have you join us.